creative. It's the one connected to our personal identity, our spirituality. So when I say to you, what do you want out of your life? That is a consequence of the conscious mind and its creation. But in contrast, there's something called the subconscious mind. And I go, what's that? I go, that's a database of habits, things that we have learned how to do that we can now repeat them without relearning them. A lot of people think the subconscious is evil. I go, oh, come on. Let me tell you a very important fact. Think about it this way. When did you learn how to walk? Before you were 2 and you're still walking? Thank goodness you have a subconscious mind, because that's where that program is. Now, here comes an interesting understanding. The conscious mind, being creative, is the source of wishes and desires, and would be the mind that should create everything that we want in our world. And I go, it would be, except for one important fact, and that is this. When the conscious mind is thinking, guess what? It's not looking out. A thought is on the inside. So guess what? Your body is like a vehicle. The mind is driving. The conscious mind, when it's got its hands on the wheel, is doing what? Going after wishes and desires. And I go, then what? I say, but if the conscious mind starts thinking, it's not looking out the window anymore. And so it's let go of the steering wheel. Now we're not being run by the conscious mind. I go, yeah, but now who's driving the vehicle? I go, subconscious is autopilot. So I say, the moment you are thinking, the subconscious takes over and is now involved with driving our vehicle. But is it driving it to our destination and our wishes and desires? And the answer is not necessarily at all. And I go, well, give me another understanding. And here it is. The brain is like a computer. A computer has an operating system. And then to use a computer, you have to put programs in it. And once you have the programs in the computer, then you can use it to be creative. And I go, a brain is a computer, best known computer, most powerful computer that we know in the universe at this moment. And I go, so why is it relevant? Because the brain, as a computer, has a startup system. Yep. In the last trimester of pregnancy, the brain is kicked in, it's ready to go. But you can't use a computer until you get programs. I go, where do the programs come from? I go, the first 7 years of a child's life, the brain is not operating at the level of consciousness. The brain is operating in a lower vibration called theta, which is hypnosis. And I go, why is that relevant? Because I said, how many rules do you think it takes to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community? Thousands of rules. How's an infant going to learn that? And it goes, nature took care of that. Nature said for the first 7 years, you observe your mother, your father, your siblings, you observe your community. And in theta, that's record. And so basically your brain is like a video recorder recording the behaviors of other people. Well, this is really the reflection of the programs that we need to know to be a member of the family and the community. So you get basic programs. They didn't come from you, but they came from other people. And then I go, so what? And I say, by age 7, we actually kick into a higher brain vibration, alpha, which is consciousness. And that's the creative part. And I go, this is really great. However, then I have to give the fact, as we just said, when we're thinking, the conscious mind is not driving the vehicle. The driving is now autopilot, the subconscious program, which you got from other people, okay? So now I say, so what's the point? And I say, 95% of our life is coming from the subconscious, because that's the amount of time that we spend thinking. And if we're thinking that much, then our life is not being controlled by our wishes and desires. It's being controlled by the programs that we got from other people. Now, a little unfortunate statistic is that up to 70% of the programs we downloaded from other people, well, 70% of those programs are limiting, self-sabotaging, and disempowering beliefs. So I say, why is it relevant? I say, you wake up in the morning with a conscious mind, wishes, desires of what I want out of my life, and then you go into the world, and then guess what? 95% of your life, which is coming from your mind, is not coming from your conscious creative mind. It's coming from your subconscious programs, and most of those are negative, but you don't see it. You don't see it because when you're thinking, you're not looking out. You don't see the behavior. A very simple story is this: you have a friend, you know your friend's behavior very well, and you know your friend's parent, and one day you see your friend has the same behavior as their parent, so you go like, hey, Bill, you're just like your dad. And then I say, back away from Bill, who will say, how can you compare me to my dad? And everyone laughs, and I go, yeah, because everyone can see that Bill behaves like his father. Bill's the only one that can't see it, because when he's doing that behavior, he's doing it because his conscious mind's busy. We are all Bill. That's the story. And the simple reality that we have to come to understand is this. We are creating our lives not with our conscious minds, but more with our subconscious programs. And these programs don't answer our wishes and desires, and that's where life's struggle come from. And then I say, well, it's sort of like the movie The Matrix, where we've been programmed and there's something called a red pill. And I go, what happened in the movie, the red pill? Well, you take it and you get out of the program. So let me tell you an important point. If you've ever fallen in love, your life could have been blah, 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 blah every day. And then you've met this person and 24 hours later, you have heaven on earth. I say, how did that happen? The answer is very simple. We now know that when you fall in love, you stay mindful, you stay conscious, you don't think, you stay present. I go, then what? Now you're creating from your conscious mind. You're no longer creating from the program. I said the conscious mind has the wishes and desires. So what happens? It's called the honeymoon. It's called heaven on earth. And very simple conclusion is this. We have heaven on earth at our fingertips at any time we want it, but it's our programs that get in the way in the subconscious. And if we understand this, then we can learn to operate from our conscious mind and even change our subconscious programs. What's the result? The answer is a honeymoon, heaven on earth, that is available to all of us every day of our lives. The only problem is 95% of our life is not coming from that conscious mind. But when you have this knowledge, you have power. Because now you have to say, is my life fulfilling my wishes and desires? No. Don't blame the world outside. Recognize the programming you got does not support your evolution. And when you understand this, all of us can come together and manifest heaven on earth.
Thank you so much. One quick question, Bruce. Tell us a little bit about where epigenetics and ancestral pre-birth, when we're in the womb. Can you just give us a minute on that?
There's the old science called genetics. And I say, we've all been programmed that, this character, this behavior is under genetic control. Then I say, what does that mean? I say, well, as far as we know, we didn't pick the genes we came with. If we don't like our behaviors or characters, we can't change the genes. And then we're told the genes turn on and off by themselves. You become a victim of your heredity. Whatever is running in your family, you get it. And we blame the genes. The new science is called epigenetic control. Genetic control, controlled by genes. Epigenetic control, epi means above. So the new science, epigenetic control, reads control above the genes. All of a sudden, we realize the most important fact and the most empowering fact that I can give you right now is you control your genetic activity. You can change any gene. You can take a mutant gene and turn it into a healthy gene, or you can take a healthy gene and turn it into a mutant gene, but we are creators. Consciousness, again, is the drive force of adjusting your genetics. And therefore, you are powerful beyond your belief because you're not a victim of heredity. You are a creator, not just of your outside world, but of your inside experience as well.
I'll take a breath and breathe that in. We can change our genes. We can change our program. And there's so many stories, so much dogma out there that makes us think we're trapped in this prison of whatever it might be. And Bruce he's waving the key, and you can find the key, not once, not twice, but 3 different ways. He's got 3 amazing books: The Biology of Belief, Spontaneous Evolution, and the book that I've been reading that I love, The Honeymoon Effect. So please get Bruce's books and let's really study this. This is why this is on my nightstand. This and a book by Carolyn Meese are the 2 books on my nightstand, because I read this to try and program my brain. So Bruce, God bless you so much for being with us and condensing so much wisdom into 10 minutes. You did it, man. Good job. And guess what? We're going to have a friend of yours who Debra is about to introduce.
Thank you so much, Bruce. Always amazing. And yeah, we love to have comedy on this show because it's so important to laugh. With what everything's going on, laughter is some of the best medicine. And this amazing being has been making us laugh for over 25 years. Swami Biandanda is what I would call a conscious comic, because in the process of making us laugh, we hear these bubbles of truth come through. So he really knows what's going on. And that's why him and Bruce work together so closely. He's written a number of books like Driving Your Own Karma, When You See a Sacred Cow, Milk It for All It's Worth, Swami for Precedent, a 7-step plan to heal body politic and cure erectile dysfunction. So, you know, the list goes on and on. He's very, very punny, I would say. And I love him. He's been part of our community forever. So here we go, Swami Biandanda.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Debra. I love this program. I love the fact that it began with music that talked about putting us in the here and now. So if you're watching this program at a later now, you'll still be able to hear it. I've been in the now for years. In fact, I think I might have been a little ahead of my time that way. Although now I spend all of my time in the timeless now. I think they call that Alzheimer's. And I want to thank you, Bruce, for presenting what you just did, because I think it's very important that we recognize that the next phase of human evolution, if we choose, is to create heaven on earth. And so here is my prayer and my wish. Let's go for heaven on earth just for the hell of it, right? Because we're not here to earn God's love. We are here to spend it. Now, we're in challenging times. We're talking about reality. Do we create our own reality? Well, we used to, but now it's mostly made in China. And as we look at what's going on with these paradigms, I'm telling you, some of these paradigms ain't worth 2 nickels. With our paradigms changing and shifting, reality checks are bouncing like crazy, if you know what I mean. And there's a lot of confusion on the planet. In fact, I just saw that apparently 65% of the people in this country are feeling confused, and the rest are not sure. You've heard of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. They're not even sure about that anymore. So that's really what's going on right now. And it's very, very important in this time of great uncertainty that we focus on the one thing that we are certain about. We are certain about the love in our hearts. That is the area of certainty. In our head, we have beliefs that keep us separate. And what people believe me, is totally unbelievable, right? So we need to leave the static of the head for the ecstatic of the heart. Because the more we expand our hearts, the less we'll need to shrink our heads. That's going to be very, very important in this next period of time. Now, we've talked about programming, and so I have a solution. You're so subject to all of the separation that is created by our little device that we hold in our hand or the big screen that we look at. And I have to be very blunt with you. Mainstream media is a brainwashing machine stuck on spin. Yeah, only one major news network telling the truth about what they're broadcasting. CBS. Well, if you don't want a CBS, then what? If you don't like the current programming, turn off your TV and tell a vision instead. That is where I tell a vision to you and you tell a vision to me. And we have these healing and functional visions to step into. And that beats what we've been stepping into, right? I'm telling you, we've had things have been very, very challenging lately. And so very important that we begin to take our focus of attention away from that which is programming us and put our attention on what we are putting out for our own future that we want to have. We have a short intention span. Let's face it. We need to expand our intention span and so hold these intentions very powerfully. So I will begin with my television. My great television, I call it Non-Judgment Day. On Non-Judgment Day, everybody will win a beauty contest. On Non-Judgment Day, all of the lawyers will disappear. Our trials will be over. We won't need them anymore. On Non-Judgment Day, all the nations at the United Nations will begin their sessions with a hokey pokey. Think about it. The Israelis and the Palestinians, they put their whole selves in. That is commitment. They pull their whole selves out. That is detachment. They turn themselves around. That is transformation, and that's what it's all about. So in these times, if you're feeling confused, yes, it's true. It's been predicted that a great shift will be taking place, right? And I know people are asking, why is this shift happening to me? Well, shift happens. The shift has hit the fan, and it's time for humanity to shift or get off the pot. Unless, of course, you need pot to shift, then stay on the pot. I understand that we all have these cannabinoid receptor sites in the brain, the part of the brain they call the hippocampus, right? So very important. But no matter what you do, I think that the one thing that we all need is the power of laughter. The power of laughter. Laughter heals. And the one thing that I want to leave you with is that if you're feeling down, particularly a lot of people these days are feeling very, very frustrated about the state of the world. And they ask me, Swami, I want to uplift humanity. And their faces look like this. Okay, well, first of all, uplift the corners of your mouth like this. This is the new contagion that we want to spread. Like that. This is called the levitational pull. Gravity is a downer. Let levity lift you up and spread the laughter, right? This is the practice of cosmic comic consciousness. Number one, recognize whatever is happening to you, it's a joke, laugh. Number two, don't take it poisonally. Don't take it poisonally. Number three, find the joke hidden in the picture. Number four, commit random acts of comedy. The laugh you save may be your own. Swami Biandanda, namaste and namasko. Goodbye.
Hey, everybody, let's all levity up. And I think you did that. I think you did a wonderful job of getting us to go up. And guess what? We all should wake up laughing. And guess what? I am suggesting that because that's Swami's website. You can learn all about Swami and his good friend Steve Berriman by going to wakeuplaughing.com and learn how to book him. He's doing 3 shows tonight. He's doing a birthday party, our show. He's off to something else. So maybe now that we've all gone online, maybe we can bring Swami in to uplift us that much more. Thank you so much, Swami. And we know we're going to be seeing you very, very soon because you're one of our favorites. Thank you so much. All right. And now to share a really cool thing that's happening, I'm turning it over to Debra. Introducing what Chariah's, I'll go ahead and do it. Chariah's art project. So here we go.
Great. I thought you were doing the, okay, great. So I want to introduce a very special woman. She's the spiritual author of books including Unlocked, Unleashed, and The God Within. She's an orator and a scribe. She's the creator of the Anchor of the Dream experience, an artist, a poet, a manifesting mentor. She does advanced energy clearing, and she helps us produce this show. And she's going to do a very special project with you, meditation and a live collective vision board, because she is manifesting the show as we go. She's a very special woman, a very dear soul sister, amazing talents, and has brought so much to our show, creating the show tonight. And now she is with you now. Chariah Dharma. Hello, Chariah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for this beautiful show and for all that you've done to help make it happen. And it's just been a dream come true for me to continue to share these teachings around the world and to help all the teachers who share humanity this set of teachings, because we need it more than anything else right now on the planet. And yes, we're doing a special art project tonight. Everybody who was in the pre-show, some people chose to share some visions of a new Earth reality with me in the chat. And I am busy in the background now pulling together images based on those desires and also based on all the beautiful things the speakers are saying and the musicians are singing about, so that we can co-create an art project here tonight. I do digital art. I haven't bridged into painting in the physical world yet, but being a little computer geek that I am, to make digital artwork and have done for years. And so this is my first time doing it as a live act of co-creation with you all in this beautiful community. So How exciting is that? Would you like to see a sneak peek? It's only very, very, very just beginning, but I can show it if you want. I'll take that as a yes.
Yes, yes. Overwhelming yes.
Okay, great. And so I've started, you can see what I do with digital art is I pull together different images and then I start cutting them out, them and moving them. And some of the topics that we all felt tonight that we wanted to share was about human creativity and joy and opening our hearts to love. And I thought that this little girl would be our centerpiece, and she's just so gorgeous and happy and all full of her colors and paints. And this couple in the background on the carousel. And so there's a lot more images that I pulled off of, let's just see if I can find them easily, that I pulled out of Unsplash. Maybe I'll just leave them for next time. But basically, I'll be blending them all together and we'll see what transpires by the end of the show.
That is really, really fun. Thank you so much, Chariah, for all that you do to create this show. And we look forward to seeing how this all evolves. Thank you very much. All right. We're going to go to a somber moment for a second. A few days ago, our very dear friend, Blaine Lyon, passed away. This photo was taken a couple of years ago. Blaine is a very beloved musician who we featured on this show doing a fundraiser for him. He developed throat cancer and had a long battle with it. And God bless him. He was very courageous. He fought for years and he made his transition. So I'd just like to invite us all to, again, acknowledge this man that so many of us loved and knew. And as we do that, just recognizing that there's so many passages taking place in our world right now. It's really pretty something. So thank you, Blaine Lyon. And as we kind of tune in, maybe just tuning into anybody that you know that has recently been hit hard, been hurt by some form of a passage, and acknowledging that. As you know, we also support people through the show, like we supported Blaine. We raised money for him about maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And lately we've been supporting people who have been impacted by the recent fires. And this is a before photo of a beautiful property near Santa Rosa. And this is a photo taken as the fire was approaching the property. This is the property again before the fire. And this is the property now. Can you imagine? It's really just extraordinary how quickly it can change, how quickly a beautiful home can go up literally in smoke, and this is all that's left. And so tonight we are honoring the woman whose home went down, and her name is Melinda Phoenix, which is an extraordinary name given what happened. And this is the second time Melinda has lost a home to fire, the second time. But we're going to help Melinda Phoenix rise from the ashes. I couldn't resist the pun. Through our GoFundMe. And so I'd love to ask you to unmute, please. I really ask everybody, as you listen to Melinda, just talk a little bit about her experience. Please offer her your prayers, but also your green energy by funding our GoFundMe. And all the money we raise in GoFundMe goes to our recipients. All of it goes to them. So Melinda, thank you for being on the show. And what's your experience like? Tell us a little bit about what's going on for you.
Oh, right now, I'm just in this bliss bubble that I'm here with you guys. I just can't believe it. I've been in orbit around you all, and now I'm here. And so, every time that fire has come into my life, there's been these huge transformative blessings that come in the wake. And, the fire in 2017, I was also in a house fire when I was little and got pretty badly burned. And what I learned from that fire is that when life comes at you heavily, you can't freeze. You have to keep in motion. And because I got burned because they tell you in school, stop, drop, and roll. And so that programming, right, this whole thing that we're talking about here, how to unprogram these systems that actually aren't serving us. And so being burned on my legs taught me, no, you have to just get real present. All of your center of focus has to come right here, and then you react. And so the 17 fire was huge. That was before the fires were really even a thing in California, and woke up. I kept, spirit was so strong. I had just moved up to that house in Ukiah, and I hadn't yet even unpacked everything. It was a new home. And the night before, spirit kept saying, Melinda, stop unpacking and just sit with yourself. And I don't think if I hadn't have done that and slowed down, the next morning, I don't think I would have heard the messages that were coming through, which was essentially, Melinda, you should watch the sunrise, which at that point I was not an early riser. And I kept seeing this red glow in the background. And finally, when I looked at the clock, it was 1:30, and I realized it was not the sunrise. So me and my family hardly made it out of that one. Plowed my Subaru, yay for Subaru, through the down forest, and got out. So this last fire, we had notice, we had evacuation time. And this time wasn't as intense because they didn't lose all the family heirlooms and all that. I did that last time. And additionally, when things like this happen, you have to just trust that you're held. The last time I knew I had my family alive, and that was important. And then all of a sudden you can actually see your community, what your community actually is built of when you go through these huge stages in your life. And so being able to be held by your community is a potent thing. And so last time was super hard for me to ask for help, super hard for me to receive help. And so this time there's been a lot more grace in the experience of just allowing whatever opportunities come my way. Just say yes. Just say yes to life, and accept it and be okay with it. And it led me to this awesome show, and here I am with you. So
thank you, Melinda, for just your inspiration, such a beautiful attitude. Before the show, we have a pre-show check-in, and she was like, oh my God, I'm on the same show with Bruce Lipton. And it was really, really sweet, it was really, and that's the thing, is like all of us, we're all part of this great global peace tribe. And some have written books and are famous, and most of us are living our lives, but we all are part of a beautiful community. And now is the time for us to come together as a community and support those in need. And Melinda, you're having a fantastic, amazing, wonderful attitude. And I also know you need support. So please, everybody, go to GoFundMe, and then just put in Global Peace Tribe. Or you can also see Debra has been putting our link in the chat box, both on Facebook and also in our Zoom room. And Melinda, thank you so much for being with us. And we're going to stay in close touch with you and track how things go for you. And thank you for being with us. And you are a precious member of our community. I'm sorry that it took this for you to kind of meet some of us, but now we know you. And we have a lot of love and affection for you. Thank you. All right, and to introduce, we have the perfect music. And as you're listening to this music, I'm going to invite you, please donate. Whether it's $5, $10, $25, $100, as you listen to this beautiful music, please donate. And I do announce the names of everyone who donates. And if you don't want your name mentioned, just put in anonymous. Thank you so much. Debra.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you, everyone, for your donations. It's been so wonderful to receive your green love and be able to support these people that have lost so much. So thank you so much. And as Scott said, this is going to be a wonderful segue in from what we just heard. Peter Sterling is a musician that creates music that touches the heart and soul of listeners, bringing peace and healing to people all over the world. He does that through the harp. And he's been performing on the harp for many, many years. I heard about Peter like 30 years ago. So this has been his medicine. So he has been gracing us with magical healing music. And now he's going to grace us tonight and go after that wonderful transmission that we just heard. So thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, it's very timely to follow in the segment that just occurred. I too lost all my possessions in a fire many, many years ago. And so I know about the fires of transformation. And so I just, in my short time with you tonight, as you said, I've been playing the harp for about 30 years now, and just always just connecting with a higher power. That's what's always inspired me. So in this moment, I'm just so glad to be here with everybody, with this wonderful group and connecting with people all over the world. It's exciting for me to be here and with such beautiful family and friends here. So I just wanted to offer this short piece. I'm just going to play from my heart. I'm just calling forth the angels, and I'll play this as a prayer of healing and restoration for all who have been affected, and for everybody who's going through immense change and transformation in their life. And allow the harp and the music just to soothe your soul and take the edge off a little bit. And we're just going to float up into the ethers with the harp and the angels. And my prayer too is that you too, through this musical prayer, that you can connect and have a more solid connection with your own personal angels to help to guide you through these uncertain times ahead, and that you can be connected to the higher power and your divine guidance. So thank you and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Peter. It's just exquisite.
Thank you.
And Peter's going to play one more song for us later on today. And I'm sure that all of you might want to know more about him. So you can go to harpmagic.com. Harpmagic.com. Learn all about Peter, learn how to get his music. He's up for a Grammy Award in 2021 for his Harp Magic album. It's a brand new album, Sanctuary of Light. So let's all support Peter. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So now it's time for our next keynote speaker. We have so many amazing speakers tonight. And this next speaker is somebody that, again, we've wanted to have on the show for quite a while. He was actually booked on the show. He was about to go on, and there's a power outage. And so thank goodness James was willing to come back and be with us. And of course, I'm talking about the author of a book that probably everyone on this show, everyone watching has read, The Celestine Prophecy. And it's really one of those books that just changed our consciousness. Of course, it was a #1 American seller, #1 international seller. It spent 3 years on the New York Times bestsellers list. But you know, his sequels are even more important probably as he goes into the 10th insight, Holding the Vision, the Secret of Shambhala, In Search of the 11th Insight, and the 12th Insight, The Hour of Decision. He also was the co-author of God and the Evolving Universe, and co-wrote and co-produced the film version of the Celestine Prophecy movie. So, James, thank you so much for bringing your vision to us. And we're really eager to hear right now in present time, in this incredible time of change and transformation, what do you have to share with us about how we can create the reality that is our true heart's desire?
Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Well, it's an interesting time to say the very least, and it's a time, in my view, and this has been discussed already tonight. Time for community, for reconnection. We've been shut down, and what I believe is happening, and again, this is how I think the kind of critical mass thinking is that what has happened to us worldwide can be seen as a reset, a spiritual reset. And it's my opinion that we are figuring out, maybe for the first time in a mass way, exactly how to tune in spiritually, how to get a flow of mysterious synchronicities, you know, these meaningful coincidences that bring us help, bring us just the right information to take another step in our journey. So I think we're figuring it out. And that for me is very, very exciting. But I'd like to just stop right here for a minute and just spend about a minute just connecting with everybody out there that's listening. If we could just connect all together and just keep in mind and send a kind of heart energy out to all the people who have been in a situation where they have lost a lot, who are questioning the whole forward progress of humanity, that are feeling low energy. And just, if we could, just let's just open our hearts and bring some spiritual connection, some divine connection that we all can feel. And just, let's just share. Let's just be sending that kind of energy, comforting energy, all together, keeping in mind that there are people all over the world who aren't listening, but we can still make contact with them just by intending to send this inspiring energy, this life force energy from the divine through us out into the world. Let's just hold that for a moment. And let's just imagine that everyone who's in a space that's challenging be able to connect for themselves with this divine source. And let's just intend, let's just send the energy for that opening to take place. Or this comforting heart energy, this love sourced energy is coming in and just bring some comfort. Let's do it again all over the world. See it sweeping the globe. Just one more moment. Okay, so let's just be all together then. And you know, again, I think that what I see happening out there is that we are feeling a reset. You know, there was so much spiritual consciousness emerging even before the shutdowns. You know, there are more people meditating in the world, prayer and meditating in the world than ever before. And just that opens us up to this full connection. And what I want to talk about is just what we know, what I think we know and can prove to ourselves is real about what we get when we tune in spiritually. And again, it's a timeliness to this, because at this moment we have 3 generations that are really asking for help, asking for clarity. And it begins with baby boomers who are out there looking at the world thinking, what can I do to help? What would be a legacy act that I can leave for future generations right now? What can I do? Because, you know, the older generation always reaches legacy stage, where what am I going to leave that has made the world better? And at the same time, though, we have the children of baby boomers, millennials, reaching a key astrological position that all generations always hit. And it happens between 38 and 41, where you know, millennials are thinking, okay, I've gotten engaged. I've gotten engaged with the world. I've maybe had children. I've made relationships work. I have a sense of caring for others. But what else do I want to do with my life? Is this all there is? Isn't there something more that I came here to do? So they're en masse. And remember, millennials and their children are the majority population on the planet already. So there's this huge asking energy coming out of that generation as well. And then the older children of millennials are facing finishing up high school, and that's been you know, shocked and changed on them, and looking forward to being on their own, going to college maybe, but asking all the questions about that. How do you do that? How can I do it? What sustains a person going off on their own in life for the first time? So we got all these questions being asked, and I think that what's coming in is a kind of clarity about how we can connect at a higher level spiritually. Because what happens always, and we all have felt this, is that we get an opening of intuitive intelligence. You can call it intuitive guidance. But that is something that we can discover. It's one of the key experiences. We can also have a flow of synchronicity, which means, we get help in life. If synchronicity is real, then spirituality is real. And the comforting thing about it is that no matter what situation we're in, we can still intend and look for one of these tiny miracles of synchronicity to come in and help us break through, help us solve a problem, help us find another step on that road to our true mission in the world. So what I think we're also, and this may be the most important step that we're making right now, is that we're figuring out the karmic design of the world. And I believe that what we're finding, I believe the consensus that's emerging is that it works around helping. Because if we take the time to help, what occurs is that we are able to experience a kind of reaction that comes into our lives when we help. And I think it works this way. If you're a helper, if you think about others, if you try to look out for others, if you try to deal in business fairly with everyone, what happens is that more people come into your life to help you. So the synchronistic flow in your life, the help you get goes up. Now, the opposite is true as well. If we're takers, if we're manipulators, if we, sell people something they don't need, what happens is that we draw more takers into our lives, and that slows our growth in synchronicity and all the joys of this connection. So what I believe is happening is that right now, in this reset, we're figuring out how we want to go forward in a spiritually connected way. And I believe that the paying attention to karma is the most important thing, because we want to get more help. We want to get more flow. We want to feel more creative. And all of that opens up our intuitive intelligence. So the guidance comes in. When to make a move, when not to make a move, who to reach out for to solve a problem. And so what I believe that we're finding is that if this is true, if we prove to ourselves that this karmic structure is true, that things don't happen by chance, that we get help, if we get in aligned with this design, then the world will start to become more creative, more spiritually oriented, and higher in consciousness altogether. And so in the end, I think the design of the world is this. If we live our lives so that we're helping, moving the culture in a positive direction, helping individuals along the way, where it's all designed so that everybody has an increase in synchronicity, these magic little miracles that come into life. So that it works kind of like this. The people we interact with, if we think first about how we can be a synchronicity for them rather than what information they're going to bring to us, then everything amplifies. And we already have, all of you have experienced this, right? You're talking to a person, maybe it's, a chance meeting, maybe it's somebody that you know, but when you're talking to someone, if you're asking the question, how I can help, what happens is that we think of something. It's always something we can share about our lives, what we've done in the past to solve a particular problem, but it will come up. And all we have to do is share it. And all of you know that we do this naturally anyway. We're just amping up the consciousness of doing it. And what happens when we just share that moment of that time in our lives when we were dealing with something? What does the person say? The person says, I needed to hear that right now at this moment in my life. It happens all the time, all right? That's the design. So rather than just concentrating on our own flow, if we are in a mode of helping, what happens is the synchronicity increases, and that's what I believe the reset's all about. To pay attention to the true experience of spiritual connection, of spiritual consciousness, and start to live that out consciously and share it with others. And that's why community is so important, and talking to other people about these kinds of things. If the reset's going to stick, and we really are going to make, turn into a higher conscious kind of culture on the planet, I believe those are the mechanics that we're discovering right now.
Thank you so much, James. And James is creating community, just like we are. There's so many ways to connect. And so I want to invite everybody to go to CelestineVision.com. Celestine, like the name of the book, Celestine Prophecy, CelestineVision.com. And there's a lot that's going on there, including he's creating the Celestine community, uplifting online events, coaching seminars, conscious conversation, and the doors are now open. So if you go to that website, you can learn all about all the different ways that James is bringing his medicine, his vision to our world, James. And anything you want to spotlight on that?
Well, I'll just say that, I think that's next. I mean, doing this with each other, creating a culture around a higher level of spiritual consciousness and high creativity, helping, finding mission in the world. That needs to be talked about. And right now our community has sort of been rattled. And now it's coming back, and I think we should do it much more conscious. And that's what we're trying to do. Again, there are communities everywhere. I would just recommend that people find that and get into a conversation about the dreams you have, and don't just hold on to them or look at them as only dreams. They're very important. We came here on purpose, with a purpose, each of us. So again, I think that's already happening out there. So it's really beautiful to see.
Thank you so much, James, for blessing us with your presence and being with us tonight. And you've served us for decades now, and we're very, very grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I get to take us for a moment to see how things are going with Chariah's art project. Chariah, how's it coming along?
It's coming great. I'm really enjoying it, and having this beautiful conversation in the background is just so inspiring and puts me into that creative space. And still, it's going to look, just wait for it, because it's going to look better as the show goes on. But you can sort of see some of the themes that are weaving here. I just added this guy in. I got to figure out where he goes. Your kindness is contagious. And I found synchronistically found these two holding hands things. And I feel like they are going to stand out in a way with some other elements similar to them across the top here. And it is weaving and mixing with all of your love woven into it. So,
and I love that the little girl now has a little buddy.
Yeah, she does.
That's pretty cool.
He's so filled with joy. Oh my goodness, these guys.
And do you want people to still continue to contribute words and phrases?
I'm not really able to do both. Pay attention to the chat and do the art. So I think we've got the theme for this time, and maybe we'll do it again with more.
All right. Well, we'll be checking in on Chariah a couple more times tonight. And it's now my pleasure to introduce someone that I spent 3 weeks in India with way back, I think about 15 years ago. This is Marcie Shimoff, and Marcie is a best-selling author. And what is so great about having Marcie on this particular show is that she's all about happiness, success, and unconditional love. She's a #1 New York Times bestselling author as well, a world-renowned transformational teacher. Her books have included the bestsellers Happy for No Reason, Love for No Reason, and 6 titles in the successful Chicken Soup for the Women's Soul series. Marcie's books have sold over 16 million copies, 33 languages, topped all the bestseller lists. Most of all, she understands about miracles. She understands about how to create happiness. Marcie, it is so nice to have you with us. And
Thank you so much, Scott. I am absolutely delighted to get to be here with you and with Debra and with really everyone who's here. And especially right now at this very powerful time of Navaratri. I haven't heard it mentioned here tonight, but Navaratri is in the Hindu tradition is the 9 nights of Mother Divine. It's honoring the divine feminine and the great goddess. So I would like to start with a bow to the divine feminine tonight. And I want to speak, Bruce has spoken about this and James just spoke about it, how on the planet right now, it is quite a time. We are in a time of challenge and upheaval and conflict and craziness. And there is good news. And the good news is that throughout history, these kinds of times of chaos are always followed by a renaissance, a rebirth. And I think that we all chose to be incarnated right at this time because something inside of our souls knew that we had a part to play in helping in this rebirth. So Scott and Debra, I love that tonight's theme is manifest our personal visions in a new earth. It's perfect because the more that we do that ourselves, we contribute to the changing, raising of consciousness on the planet, and we help usher in this renaissance. So the question is, how do we do this? Well, I want to share with you a story that I just heard from one of my mentors, the amazing and legendary Jean Houston, who's considered one of the pioneers of the human potential movement. And I got to interview Jean just a couple days ago when she did a session on my Year of Miracles program. And she told this story. When she was 8 years old, Jean and her entire class at school went to meet Albert Einstein. Now, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, getting to meet Einstein when you're in the 4th grade. Well, when it was time for questions, one of the kids raised his hand and asked, "Mr. Einstein, how do I get to be as smart as you?" And Einstein answered, "Read fairy tales." Well, none of the kids really liked that answer. So another kid raised their hand and said, "Mr. Einstein, how do I get to be even smarter than you?" And Einstein said, "Read more fairy tales." Well, Jean was very precocious and she said to him, "Mr. Einstein, are you talking about imagination? Yeah?" And he said, "Yes. People think that I'm really good at mathematics, but I'm actually pretty terrible." He said, "I get the other people to do the math part." But he said, "What I have is a wonderful, wonderful imagination." And Jean went away from that meeting saying, okay, imagination is the key to life and to manifesting. In fact, Einstein said that imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. So it really is how we best manifest in our life is through imagination. But how do we use our imagination right now to manifest what we want in our own lives and in the world? And I want to share with you what I've observed over a number of years of speaking and teaching about how to live a miraculous life. And that is, first of all, that all manifesting starts from our intentions. Now, everybody's spoken of that. You've heard about that in law of attraction and all that. But here's what I found. Most people don't use their great imagination for their intentions. Most people intend from what I call their ego intentions. They create ego intentions. Bruce earlier spoke about it perhaps as the subconscious mind. It's, I want to create this because I want to have a better job or I want to make more money, but it's coming from fear. It's coming from our wounds rather than from our soul, which is that boundless presence where the imagination brings us. And this one little switch from ego intention to soul intention can make all of the difference. So here's how you go from ego intention to soul intention. And just here's how you know the difference. You know, when you intend from your ego, it has all kinds of shoulds with it. You're trying to prove yourself. You should do this. There's an obligation. I have to have this job. I have to make more money. And you feel contracted. Anytime you feel contracted around an intention, you know it's an ego intention. You feel like you're pushing or struggling or controlling. And here, the trick is, though, that manifesting from your ego can actually work. You know, I've done a lot of trying to manifest from my ego, and it's worked. But it didn't bring me the fulfillment that I wanted. And I hear this all the time from people. They say, you know, I manifested, I got what I wanted, but it didn't really make me happy. And it's because the manifestation was from the ego intention. And when we intend from the soul, it's very different, because the soul is that realm of all possibilities. It's the realm of love, and it's the realm of miracles. It's when we are aligned with our soul, we feel expanded. We're in the flow. We're in what I call the miracle zone. It's as though things just happen for us with more ease and for the greatest good of all, not just for our own selves, but it serves the greatest good of all. And the link to shift from ego to soul is imagination. Imagination is what connects us to our soul. Our soul is constantly whispering to us through our imagination. And I'll quote Einstein one more time. Einstein said that imagination is the language of the soul. Pay attention to your imagination and you will discover all you need to be fulfilled. And this is what these times are calling for our individual and our collective intentions from the soul to be infused with our imagination. So right now, I want to do a little experiment together. And it's just going to take a moment or so. So to do this, I really invite us all to do this together, because there is a huge power in our collective energy. So I invite you to close your eyes and to put your hand on your heart. That helps you connect in more with your soul. You can do a little bit of breathing in and out of your heart. Heart math talks about heart-focused breathing. And I invite you right now to imagine into your future. Not even far future, but let's go 6 months ahead. You imagine as much as you can. What is your soul calling you for that future? What is your intention for that future? Your soul intention. Maybe it's that you are you're having a more fulfilling relationship. Maybe it's that you're giving more loving care to your body. Maybe it's that you're doing different work. I know for me, my soul intention is saying that I have more spaciousness and play and more inner time. So connect in right now with what your imagination is whispering to your soul that's calling you right now at this time, so that 6 months from now, you are living that imagined future. And breathe that into your heart. And now we're going to take this one step further, and we're going to use the collective energy of this group to supercharge that soul intention of yours. So this it's just a couple of parts. What I want you to do is, first of all, you help supercharge everybody else's soul intention by imagining that the love and the support and care in your heart is flowing out to everyone, hundreds and hundreds of people who are here listening live, watching live, or even those who are watching the recording, that your love, the power of your heart, is going out and supercharging their soul intention, that they receive their desired outcome or something even better. And feel your love flowing out to them. And now take another deep, deep breath. And on the exhale, imagine your heart opening up even more. Perhaps your shoulders go back. Your heart is open more, because now it's time for you to receive. Receive all the energy that's pouring in your way from this amazing collective vortex of energy. Let that into your heart and let that supercharge your own miracle intention, so that you receive your desired outcome or something even greater. And now together, let's collectively gather our energies and put them out towards imagining a world that we'd like to see. Use your imagination for a world that has greater peace, where everyone has food, where the planet, Mother Gaia, is healing, where there is justice, where there is harmony and peace. And as we sit with these intentions for the world and for ourselves, I'm going to make an affirmation on behalf of all of us and invite in even the angelic realms. We feel and know that your highest good is now coming to you. We hold your soul intention and the soul intentions for the world with love in our hearts, and we see them manifested in all of our lives in perfect timing. We give thanks, and so it is. Take a deep breath, let that flow through your whole body. Let it marinate in your cells, wake your cells up to that reality. And when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. And I don't know about you, but man, I feel the power of this group. I would love to just have everybody write something in the chat about how you're feeling right now after we did that. Let's connect in on all of that. That was beautiful. And let's just see some more of those chats. And as you do that, grateful, connected, inspired, I want to close with one closing thought here. And that is, I want to thank you all for that collective energy that's so powerful. But I just want to close with saying, you know, we are at a very critical time. Those of us in the United States know what's coming up in the next few weeks. Around the world, we're all aware of that. And I believe this is a great turning time for our future. How soon are we going to have this rebirth? So like Einstein, his imagination changed the world. We have to be really great imaginers right now. And I can tell you that my soul does not imagine a world of divisiveness, of hate or devastation to our planet. My soul says that we are here for a world of unity. We're here for healing our planet, for higher consciousness, and for love. We came here for this. And as John Lennon said, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I know all of you are dreamers too. And I hope someday that everyone will join us and the world will live as one. So let us all imagine this into being. And I want to thank you all, my blessings and my love to all of you.
Oh, Marcie, God bless you so much. And everybody, we've got about 400 people in our Zoom room, thousands watching on Facebook. Put into the chat box, what visions, what came up for you? Thank you, Marcie, for really taking us into such a high vibration. And I want to just let people know that she's got a wonderful ebook, miraclesebook.com. So everybody go to www.miraclesebook.com. It's her new book that she wrote with Sue Morter. Sue's been on our show a few times.
Yes.
Lisa Garr, longtime friend. And you know, while you're still with us, I'm a big fan of Einstein. And so when I teach emotional intelligence, I always lead with some of his quotes. And here are three that I just pulled quickly. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination.
Yeah.
And there was one other that I had somewhere there. Imagination is more important than knowledge. So thank you so much for reminding us. And I love that story about Gene Houston and the way you wove it all together, Marcie. Really wonderful.
Thank you. Such a blessing to be with this powerful, amazing, electric community of, we're here to create miracles. So thank you for all that you do to pull this community together.
Absolutely. And the person who I get to do it with is Debra.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to put the spotlight on Debra to talk about electric. Wait till you hear what's about to happen.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you, Marcie. So much incredible wisdom and James. I mean, we have just been blessed. And now we get to integrate all this wisdom with music, with vibration, with high vibration sound. And one of our favorite musicians in the world, we keep bringing him back, is Cornflower. He has this amazing way of using master looping of sacred mantras, of sacred sounds, and weaving them into a special transmission that opens up the heart and the soul. He is really one of our favorites, and I'm so happy to introduce again now, Cornflower.
Thank you, Debra. Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Chariah, and to all the panelists on tonight. It's such an honor to be back, and I'm so grateful to be here with everyone who's attending at such a pivotal time in our experience here as humans. We tend to view the world through the perspective of linear time, and we've been here for just a blip. We're still little babies, and we're growing up together, and it's such a gift that we have the Global Peace Tribe here to come together and grow and learn together. And anyway, this song is called You Are the Medicine, and I think it fits perfectly for this moment. I hope you enjoy it.
Untold. You to your heart. So be careful of the path you're trotting on. All the people of this world all have a likeness to yourself and a lesson for your soul to remain strong. Life is a vehicle for all your inspiration, but the darkness also plays a major part. All the balance in this world will help you see a higher self. Bring the medicine and hope to right the wrongs. Life it is a prayer. Someone tell me where we can find a temple when our heart is everywhere. It's not what we think you wear. The music that you bear, it's quietude and mind it up to bring the light. Share a sacred people that's in you, cause everything you do, devotion is the holy recognition of the truth that we only knew. That's true, yes, it's true, yeah. You are the medicine that's been sent to heal the world with your love. Oh, you are the medicine that's been sent to heal the world with your love, love, love. When we expand our awareness into every cell, we awaken the light. And now our presence evokes to all those who surround the light inside. Our presence allows a doorway into consciousness. The deeper that you can go, the bigger love can exist. Oh, you are the medicine that's been sent to heal the world with your love. Oh, you are the medicine that's been sent to heal the world with your love. Your love, your love, your love, down with your love. Your love, down with your love. Your love, down with your love. With your love, down with your love. With your love, with your love, with your love, down with your love. With your love, with your love, with your love, down with your love.
Oh, brother, thank you so much. Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
You know, Cornflower is someone that is absolutely one of our favorite people on this show. You just bring such a extraordinary vibration. And he's going to be back again. He's going to close out our show tonight. But please, everybody, go to cornflowermusic.com. cornflowermusic.com.
Yes.
And that's where you can learn all about what he's doing, get more of his music. And let's support this extraordinary man, this extraordinary artist. You rock us every time, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. It's such an honor to get to be a part of this. And, you know, this music is all created live in the moment. There's no pre-recordings. There's no samples. It's all happening with my voice. And all of your attention and intention is like an instrument in the grand symphony of this music. So each one of you are participating in the creation of the music as I drop in. So thank you all for being a part of it.
Thank you. And looking forward to having you back on this show in about an hour.
Awesome. See you then.
All right. Thank you very much, Cornflower. All right. You know, there's a lot that goes into the creation of this show. And we're delighted. We love doing it, but we have a lot of support. And I'm going to take a moment to just acknowledge some of our broadcast partners. A lot of you right now are watching us on Unify, and that includes a lot of people that are going to watch the replay. And we're really happy that now we're on Unify every Saturday night, tonight with their featured broadcast. We also want to thank our friends John and Summer Raymer at the Sign Network. They do such a great job. And I know that they're probably right now broadcasting us out on 60 or 70 different groups through the Sign Network. So thank you, John and Summer. We love being on Awake TV. And I want to take a moment to really appreciate Light Touch and Jay Mayer. He's been our #1 sponsor. He has really helped this show to happen. He's also donated thousands and thousands to the GoFundMe over the years. And so everybody, please go check out light-touch.me. And at the end of the show, I'm going to show a little video all about Light Touch. Alan Steinfeld and New Realities TV. I know we're on his YouTube channel right now. Thanks to my company, Love Coach Academy, where we originate this broadcast, and all of our friends at Earth Dance Global, Humanities Team, Portal to Ascension, Disclosure Fest, Global Days of Unity, and Earthwalk. You've seen people from all those particular organizations on our show before, and they carry us every week, and we're really grateful for that. I also want to thank all of our donors that have been supporting us, and I'm going to read the names a little bit later today. But thank you so much, those of you who are donating so generously. It really makes a big difference. And I know that we're going to tell you a little bit in a moment about the other nonprofit organization that was supporting today. But thank you very, very much for your donation. And to tell us a little bit more about our upcoming season and the shows coming up, I'm going to turn it over to my partner, Debra.
Thank you, Scott. And I also want to thank so much all the people that support this show happening, because it really does take a village, and it's a huge village these days. Thank you for all the people that donated when you registered. Thank you for the people that are donating now to the GoFundMe, and our sponsors, including Jay Mayer. All of it really gives us the inspiration to go forward and create 13 new shows like we did for the fall season. And we've had 3 so far. This is the 4th one. And next week is going to be a very special show because it is Halloween night. So we are going all out. Our theme is going to be All Hallows Eve, honoring and connecting with beloveds on the other side. So we are really going to walk in between the veils when this special time happens. And it's going to be a costume party. So we invite you to come in costume. We're going to have a costume contest. Scott will say more about that, or a costume showing. And this event is going to be sponsored by Light Touch and Jay Mayer again. So we thank him so much for that. We're going to have Daniel Brinkley, who has died probably, I think it's the 5th time now, who's been on the other side many times, and he's going to tell us what it's like over there. We're going to have Mark Anthony, who is a special person that does talk to people on the other side. And we're going to do some live contacting of people on the other side on the show. We're going to have Guinevere Bridge. We're going to have Grade Magic Bernstein, Larry Cooper. And for music, we have Pollyanna back, who we love, one of our favorite musicians again, Terry Wallman, Rachel, Bethany Lovelight, and we're going to have Magic with Karina. And November 7th, again, is going to be a very special night. It is post-election recovery, unifying with compassion and solutions. And this is not a show about politics. It's about coming together and really us unifying towards what we can do in a positive way. We have some really special people on the show, Foster Gamble, potentially Marianne Williamson, and Charles Eisenstein, as well as many others. So very powerful show. November 14th, again, sponsored by Jay Mayer, and it's his wish to do this show. It's honoring the wisdom of the indigenous. This is the 2nd time we've done this show. We're going to be bringing really powerful indigenous elders, men and women, speaking the truth of what is going on right now. November 21st, we're going to be working with Teresa Collins in Global Coherence Pulse Reimagine. November 28th, we're really going to take advantage of the Thanksgiving weekend, and it's going to be a really big show about community, large community, creating intentional community, but also creating the community within your heart and within your immediate soul tribe. December 5th, Secret of Ancient History, going to be really powerful. December 12th, Relationship Mastery. December 19th, Winter Solstice Activation. Very powerful. We're going to have a lot of really prominent spiritual teachers on to do an activation for winter solstice. And on the 26th, we're going to do a special show that brings in all the highlights of all the shows we've done since we began in April and really celebrate at that point. And also, we really want to thank the people that donate large when they register. We really appreciate it. It really helps us produce high quality shows. So we're having a Global Peace Tribe Supporters Party. It was going to be last week, but it landed at the exact same time as the presidential debate. So we thought we wouldn't conflict with that. So it's going to be next Thursday, October 29th. Those were people who donated the registration over $50 last time or $75. Or if you filled out one of those forms saying you want to help us in some way and be a supporter, this is a supporters party and you'll help us promote or you'll help us do something. That's what it's going to be about. It's going to be really fun. We're going to have Cornflower back and Larissa Stowe. And we're going to have valuable gifts and surprises, and the opportunity for you to share your feedback, give us feedback of what you'd like to have on the show. And we're also going to have breakout rooms where you can meet each other. And so that's going to be great. Scott, do you want to share any more about that?
Yeah, the supporters party is really, really going to be fun. And we want to thank everybody, everyone that watches. It means a lot to us. And let's be honest, some of you have been very generous in your support. And so we want to say thank you to you. We also want to hear what you have to say. We want to get your feedback. The show is a big success. We're planning on keeping it going all through New Year. So we're already beginning to look at what topics, what subjects, and we want to get your feedback. We also want to invite people to participate in next week's costume party. So here's how it works. As you know, we originate on Zoom, and we open up our Zoom room at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to put on a costume, whether it's just yourself or you and your dog or you and your cat or you and a couple or a whole family, everyone's invited. But we need for you to come into the Zoom room 5:30, 5:35 at the latest. And from 5:30 until 5:55, during that 25 minutes, we're going to meet you. We're going to kind of see who's in costume, and then we will spotlight you throughout the show. Hey, look at Joel and Sally from Austin, Texas. Hey, here's Bill from Marin County. Wow, all the way from Panama, we've got Enrique, or whomever it might be. And we'll get to see you in your costumes. There's not going to be just one prize. We're not competitive here. Everybody's going to win something. Everyone's going to get a choice. Who's on the show in costume is going to get a choice of one of three prizes. So join us next Saturday night, October 31st. And all weekend, we're going to be celebrating All Hallows Eve. So we have our Straight Talk show on Friday night at 8 o'clock. We're going to have Guinevere Bridge, Larry Cooper doing psychic readings and really helping to set the stage for the history, the tradition of All Hallows Eve. And then on Saturday night, we've got the amazing lineup that Debra told you all about. So please do join us. And again, for the supporters party, anybody that in our previous season donated $50 or more, and anybody who has donated in registering for the current season, $75 or more, you're going to be invited. And when you register, we see the amount, and that helps us to know, and you'll get an email from us inviting you on Thursday night. So thank you very, very much. Last thing I want to say is that some of you we recognize are really financially challenged during this pandemic time. We get that. So if you're interested in finding other ways to support us by hosting watch parties, by helping us grow the community, then we have a form that Chariah created, and we'll pop that in the chat box And you can fill out that form. And that's another way that we're collecting information on those of you that want to be part of growing our global peace tribe, helping to get the word out there and helping to build us. You've heard me say it before. We're all imaginal cells in the butterfly that's going to grow out of the old paradigm and into the new paradigm. Anything else you want to say before I go to our other organization, Debra?
Yeah. No, I think that's it.
Okay. So we have another organization that we're going to be supporting through your generous GoFundMe. Of course, you already met our fire victim recipient, Melinda Phoenix, but we also are supporting the local Santa Rosa animal shelter. And they provide homes to many of these dogs. In fact, all of these puppies that you're seeing, these are brand new photos they just sent us today. I want to acknowledge David Weiss, the organizer. And these are all puppies that are available for adoption. And this organization is located close by to where many of us are in Santa Rosa, and they need your help. Because of COVID, their previous fundraising event, the ticket seller absconded with $20,000. And then because of COVID, they haven't been able to do their program this year. And so as a result, they are really struggling and they need support for all these little guys and gals that you're seeing. So if you're interested in adopting, you can reach out to them, but they also need volunteers. So you can call them directly at 707-542-5582 if you're interested in volunteering, or if you live close by and you're interested in adopting one of these little pals. We sure would love that. And this is the Countryside Rescue. You can learn more about them by going to countrysiderescue.com. And we want to encourage you to provide support at our GoFundMe. I'm going in the wrong direction. There we go. Look at all these little ones. They need our love. They need our support. So let's be generous with our GoFundMe. And to tell you just a tad more, they are providing a lot of support during the fires. Last year, they were evacuated. This year, they took on 60 animals from people who were evacuated from their homes. So they're a really significant part of our community. So when you support our GoFundMe, you're helping to support this, as well as the woman you met earlier tonight who lost her home in the fire. So thank you so much. You just go to GoFundMe, put in the Global Peace Tribe, and you'll find us. Or Debra has been putting the link into the chat box. And we really appreciate very much your donations. And we are going to read the names of the donors a little bit later tonight. We love to go to music. Music is always such a big part of our show. And so it's now my pleasure to turn it back over to Johanna Beekman, who's going to bless us with another song. Johanna, we are so grateful to have you with us. Take it away.
Thank you, Scott. I'm so grateful. This is another old yet new song coming out on the next album called Free to Decide. Breathe. Can you take a moment just to breathe, just to be? Can you take a moment just to breathe? Can you take a moment just to breathe, just to be? Can you take a moment just to breathe? Can you take a moment just to breathe, just to be? Can you take a moment just to breathe? Can you take a moment just to breathe, just to be? Can you take a moment just to breathe? Mother, do you know my name, and can you feel the rain? pulsing through your veins. And Father, put your heart to the earth when you need rebirth through rhythm and song, and free to decide what is your reality. Free to decide. Can you defy gravity? Free to decide that you are free. Can you take a moment just to breathe, just to be? Can you take a moment just to breathe? Can you take a moment just to breathe, just to be? Can you take a moment just to breathe? Mother, do you know my name? And can you feel the rain pulsing through your veins? And Father, put your heart to the earth when you need rebirth through rhythm and song. And you're free to decide what is your reality. Free to decide. Can you defy gravity? Free to decide that you are free. Can you take a moment just to breathe? You are free, free to decide. You are free. Can you take a moment just to breathe? Breathe. Oh, yeah. Can you take a moment? Can you take a moment? Can you take a moment just to breathe? Free to decide what is your reality, and free to decide. Can you defy gravity? Free to decide that you are free. Breathe just to breathe. Can you take a moment just to breathe? Can you take a moment just to breathe, just to be? Can you take a moment just to breathe?
So everybody, let's all take a breath. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in all the incredible wisdom being shared with us, and so much appreciation for Johanna, who blesses us with her music, and all of her music reminding us. I love how you combine yoga and mantra and so many different forms together. And again, let's all go to Johanna, Johanna, sings.com. JohannaSings.com. She does online yoga and voice lessons, online workshops, online chat circles. She's got her Shakti shop. There's a lot going on there. So you definitely want to go to JohannaSings.com. Johanna, I know we're going to have you on the show again if we're blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I have 2 new albums I'm working out, and they'll be out in 2021. So we'll keep in tune. Bless
Well,
you.
absolutely. We're going to want to have you on to debut those, and looking forward to hearing it. God bless you.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Scott. And thank you, Chariah.
And to now introduce our next amazing speaker. Take it away, Debra.
Thank you, Scott. And we get to continue to raise the energy, raise the consciousness, raise the frequency with this next speaker. Maureen Saint-Germain has had an experience of over 25 years in the area of mystical and sacred traditions. She's known as the practical mystic. She's widely known for her teachings in 5D reality. She has many books. She is also a clear channel of source. She continuously researching and developing new methods that will help you connect with your own wisdom channel. She also has personal connections with the angels, with ascended masters, with the Hathors, divine feminine, and even dragons. So she's going to put her lens on this incredible topic of manifesting and bring us some information from the 5D higher reality. So really happy to have Maureen Saint-Germain. Hello, Maureen.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. And I'm so grateful for this fabulous presentation. This whole concept that you're creating is just amazing. And, you know, we've all had opportunities to grow and learn here, but I was really impressed with what Bruce Lipton had to say about the honeymoon effect. And many of you have heard me before, you know that my closing phrase, and now it's going to be my opening phrase as well, is ask for a day of heaven on earth every day. And there's a great story behind it, which I don't think I'll take time to tell you, but it truly happened where I did something like Swami Biandanda, and I said, this is my day from you know where, and then followed it with, but I'm having a day of heaven on earth because I'm flying with United. And all these things happened that morning. I had to turn around and come back to the airport, and it all went so smoothly. I sat on the plane and asked, how did I do that? And the answer was, well, you asked for a day of heaven on earth. And I thought, wow, the next time I have a crazy day, I'm going to ask for a day of heaven on earth. And then I asked again, and I thought, wait a minute, I'm not waiting until I have a busy day. I'm asking every day, and so can you. And then one of my students taught me, she started asking for a day of heaven on earth for a family vacation where they were all going to join in and share a house. And in the house was going to be the entire family, all adult siblings. But she had one sister who was a drama queen. And she was kind of worried about how that was going to work out for them being together for a week and vacation in a beautiful beach house in North Carolina. So she started asking for a week of heaven on earth every time she thought about the vacation. 2 days before the vacation, the drama queen called everyone and said, I'm not coming. And of course, right away, there's drama, right? Except that she said, I'm checking myself into a detox facility. And my student who told me the story said, we had the best time and we weren't worried at all about her. So they had their week of heaven on earth. So now you have some tools right away. Ask every day for a day of heaven on earth. If you have some, travel or event or special something that's coming up, ask for a week of heaven on earth. And if you are ambitious like me, you'll ask for a day of heaven on earth for me and everyone I come in contact with. And that's what I do. So there you have it. So it's my delight to share with you some slides about some practical tools that you can use, because that's what I'm known for, as the practical mystic. And I love all these mystical things. I love what Bruce said about epigenic control. And I have a very cool story at the end I'll tell. You got to ask me though, because I might forget. Rising above your genes. And the idea of a non-judgment day is so cool. We need all of those every day. So this is practical tools that you can use to make your day a heavenly one. And now, why is my sharing not working? Okay, let's do this.
I'll come on in for a moment. One of the things that Maureen has put together a wonderful series of slides. And so when we did our sound and lighting check, I said, Maureen, we got to have your slides. And, sometimes technology is a little bit challenging. So while she's kind of working on it and finding those slides, there we go. You got them.
Are they up? All right.
Good job.
Yeah. Cool. So we've all heard of the pineal gland. And you know that the pineal gland is a special gland that's behind your third eye. And it's in the middle, it's above the stem, the stem of your why am I not letting it go? It's behind the brain stem. And the brain stem is going to end where that knob in the back of your head is, and then the pineal sits above it. And there's a very important piece of information that I'm going to give you as we move through this. So in the ancient world, it was known that if you kept your third eye healthy, then your power center, your pineal, healthy, that those two would help you open up. And that's one of the reasons why this guided meditation, activating your sixth sense, the golden bowl, is so important. You literally create the satellite dish for heaven on earth. So how do you clean and heal your pineal and your whole body? One of the tools is a product called Tamarind. Another is a commercial product called Iodicalc that I can tell you where to get. Shilajit, or Shilajit, depending upon how you say it, is a tar-like substance that is available online. And it is stated in the tradition of the Shilajit, no healing occurs without it. And it's a bunch of chemicals that are collected on the mountains. Bliss oils from Norm Shealy, my own Aramandalas line, and Walking in Nature. So why is this important? Because fluoride is found in so many dental products, and it's so pervasive that you and I can't get away from it. So we need to use these tools to keep ourselves clear, because we all go to the dentist at some point or another, and we all buy things that are prepackaged that we don't even realize have been fluoridated so that they can be clear. And of course, the biggest problem is the water that we drink. So if you're getting water that's fluoridated, and believe me, some bottled water is fluoridated as well. We didn't always know that. So you have to read the online information in order to get that. So here's where you get the solution, Iodicalc, which is a combination of tropical fruits that is very good at decalcifying your pineal gland. So sacredmedicine.org, sacred-medicine.org will take you there. Tamarind tincture or paste, you can buy that in Indian type stores or the Indian section of some stores. That also promotes the excretion of fluoride. In addition, you want to understand that your body is a very large mover of blood, and yet the pineal is very small, but proportionally it's moving a lot of blood. So the pineal is very affected by EMF, the electromagnetic radiation. It's sensitive to variations in light, and it works with the circadian rhythms of the body. That is your cycles of being awake and asleep. This is what the pineal looks like. This is an art piece, but I thought it would be great to see it. It's much, much tinier than this. It is affected by ELF and EMF, which we've all heard of, but maybe we don't realize how powerful these frequencies are that are being beamed at us. Think about if you live in an apartment building, or you go to a mall, or you go someplace that's got a lot of restaurants, there's Wi-Fi beaming at you from all directions. How do you know? You open up your cell phone and you see all those different channels that you could hook onto if you knew the right password. You're still getting hit with that information, even though you aren't able to hook into it. So the pineal is at right angles to the third eye. The right angle turn is the 90-degree turn. You may have even heard of people seeing a flying saucer, making a right turn and disappearing. It's because that's how you shift dimensions. You literally make that right angle and shift out. And that's also why a lot of times when you're in meditation, you shift out and you think you've gone to sleep. But if you wake up when it's over, you know for sure that you have not fallen asleep, but you have simply checked out and moved to a higher plane of awareness, and all of your body systems kind of close down so you can move your consciousness up. And then when the meditation is over, you're right there back with everyone. It's not like when you fall asleep and you're watching a movie and your partner wakes you up and says, "Wake up, honey, it's time to go to bed." This is you doing a meditation where you think you've fallen asleep, but when it's over, your eyes are wide open and you're fully in your body. That's you moving to higher dimensions through the abilities of your pineal. So let's talk about the blood flow. Not everyone can do a headstand, but most everyone can get a little device like this that'll help you learn how to do a shoulder stand. And the yoga teachers that are here would appreciate that. It's one of the most powerful things. And you aren't just helping your core, you're actually helping your pineal because you're rushing the blood to that part of your body. And finally, one of the most important things to do is to walk in nature. And when you go for your walk, leave your cell phone behind, because many, many parks are devoid of the Wi-Fi signals. And it literally gives your body a chance to recalibrate. And you will be able to connect with the earth energetically and retune to the Earth's electromagnetic field, which is changing. And as it's changing, we're changing. And if we can stay in tune with it, we will be in the ever-present now. Another idea that a lot of people don't realize is how important it is to have a sleep mask or a towel or something that you put over your eyes at night. The light from your lamp, the light from the street lights that might leak in, all of these impact your pineal gland and keep it from getting the rejuvenation juice it needs, because we need melatonin. And melatonin is important for a lot of functions, but the body won't make its own melatonin unless your eyes are completely darkened. So a sleep mask is essential. So if you get a chance to fly again, if you have a chance to take an afternoon nap, find a way to completely cover your eyes. It will make a huge difference, and you will actually wake up well rested. Now, finally, and this is probably the most important piece, we all have this thing happening to us that doesn't make any sense. One of my students was telling me very recently that she was driving down the freeway and there was a man in a completely green robe with a long beard and a pointed hat. And it was real as could be. And then a few seconds later, there were two yellow cars on either side of her, also as real as could be. At that point, you could say, that's just crazy and dismiss it. Or you could say, I wonder what's going on. And one of the most important things that you can learn in this moment is to use the wonder idea. So instead of labeling everything that happens, oh, that's weird, oh, that's strange, or that I had the strangest dream, I had the most crazy experience, whatever label you've been giving to your unusual experiences that are causing cognitive dissonance, you're wanting to label it because you can't frame it in 3D terms. And it's a lot like what Bruce Lipton was speaking about. Allow yourself to have this dissonance and move into wonder and let the universe show you how they come together. And you will be surprised, because just about the time you think you've figured it out, you will be shown something different. And the universe must know something I don't know, because I'm asking for a day or a week or a vacation of heaven on earth for me and everyone I come in contact with. And I so wish that you will too. So when you wake up in the morning, we talk about, what are you going to order for breakfast, or what are you going to cook for yourself for breakfast? What have I ordered from the universe this morning? I am so grateful for everything coming my way, but it's okay to ask, I'd like to have this. And as Marcie was talking about, we don't have to always make it something tangible. You know, you could ask, I'd like to have my heart open more. I'd like to be able to know for sure I'm always telling the truth. I'd like to make my ascension in this lifetime. I'd like to be of service to people. How can I do that? All of these things, you can ask the universe to show you how to do it. And then all you have to do is show up and do your part. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very, very much, Maureen, for that incredible slideshow. It took a moment to get it going, but we did great. And I want to let people know that you can learn a lot more about Maureen by going to her website, which is her name, Maureen Saint-Germain, MaureenSaintGermain, MaureenSaintGermain.com. And she has an amazing workshop that's about to start. It's called Akashic Records, the Fast Track Workshop. Tell us just in 30 seconds a little bit about what's going to take place during this workshop, Maureen.
Okay, so I teach how to open the Akashic records, and a lot of the this book won Book of the Year this past year, this year actually, and it also won gold in its category. And it's a book teaching you how to open the Akashic records, but everyone likes to take it in a class, and so we developed a class where we're on Zoom and we're live, and we do a lot of sharing in the class. So I actually teach you how to open your own records at the first 2 days. And then the second 2 days is a second class you can take back to back. And that class is where you learn how to read someone else's records. And we have a lot of fun in these classes. We go into breakout rooms and then we come back together. And it is so much fun. We finish those classes. We're so excited to work with each other, and we have such an amazing experience. It is one of the most powerful things that I've had the privilege to do. And anybody listening who only wants to learn in Chinese, I'll be doing the same class in Chinese 2 weeks later, the following week rather, and we will have English translation. And this is because I am, my books and products are translated into 7 languages, and I teach a lot in Chinese with a translator. And so there's another opportunity.
Fantastic. All the information at MaureenSaint-Germain.com. Thank you so much for being with us. Hope to see you again soon. So I brought my little friend on. This is Jasmine Bear, and she wants to say thank you for all the financial support you're providing to her cousins at the animal rescue. And I want to read the names of the people who have donated. Of course, again, your money is going to the animal rescue, and it's also going to our fire victim. So here we go. First of all, a lot of people have been donating anonymously. So thank you, everybody. I also want to thank Jane Ritchie, Sophia Roberts, one of our dear friends who's a wonderful musician, Raymond Fix, Marcella Stevenson, Camila Schutel, Karen Parrish, Fairy Girl, Michael Malden, Maria Hansman, Natalie Lilico, Jen Monzo, Janet Cannell, Graham Webstott, Sam Sparrow, thank you, Sam, Marlene Foster, Phyllis Silverberg, Anonymous, Betty Powell, Kathleen Robertson, Anonymous, Lynn Muramaru, Anonymous, Noel, Anonymous, Alana, Lovolution Jeffrey, more anonymous, a lot of anonymouses, My Home, Karen Eisenberg, and Debra Garoni. Thank you so much. If I have mispronounced your name, I do apologize, but thank you so much for your incredible donations. And now I'm turning it back over to my partner, Debra.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you, everyone, for all your donations. And I think we're up for some incredible music again with Peter Sterling. And as you heard before, he is a magical harpist, and he is going to give us some magical healing vibrations and just settle us into the night. Thank you, Stephen, for coming back on with us.
Peter. It is Peter.
Peter, sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say this is the coolest online teleconference that I've ever been part of. So I'm real grateful to be here. This is super cool. I know it's going to catch on and just grow and be a real awesome thing in the days ahead for everybody. So, and so my last piece of the night, and once again, I'll just offer this as a musical prayer. I'm not sure when I'm going to play. I'm just going to open myself up to the heavenly realms, to the celestial realms, to the angels, to the lords of light, to the ascended masters, who are all here with us. They're holding a great ring of light around all of us, and I can really see them. So they've invited us to come up. There's like a portal that is opened. And if you want to, Maureen just did such a beautiful thing to connect us with our pineal third gland. Let's just reconnect and go out that portal. And earlier we were talking about the imagination and Chariah, the childlike innocence to enter into the kingdom. So, and I just felt with this group tonight, there was this effervescence, kind of joy energy. real feels like that's waking up on this new renaissance into the golden age that we're standing on the threshold. So I'm just going to play to that right now. And if you want to join me, I invite you to close your eyes and just go up the central pillar into your I am presence and into the golden light. And I will meet you there. Thank you so much for having me tonight. God bless you, and see you out there in the days ahead.
Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you.
As we're looking at Peter, let's all just hold the vision that he's going to win the Grammy Award that he's nominated for. He's nominated for the 2020 Hollywood Music and Media Award for Best New Age Music for Sanctuary of Light. Let's all get that. Can't wait to hear more of you, Peter. And thank you for blessing us with your exquisite music tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Debra.
So it's my pleasure to introduce the woman who inspired this show, who helped put this show together, who's part of our core team now. Chariah Dharma is a spiritual author of many books, one called Unlocked, Unleash the God Within You. She is really a Renaissance woman with so many talents, oracle and scribe. She's creator of the Anchor the Dream experience, global reality transformation. She's an artist, she's a poet, she's a major manifester, and she's been doing an incredible collective art piece of manifestations during the show. And she's going to cap it off for us and give us her viewpoint, which is one of her pet passions on the subjects of reality creation and manifesting. So I'm so happy to present my dear soul sister, Chariah Dharma.
Thank you, Debra. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone. This is such an amazing show. I'm just in a beautiful creative space here, working away, and feels like this won't be completely finished by the end of this show, but I'll give you a sneak peek to what is happening, and we'll figure out a way to share it with everyone once it feels like it's complete. And so this is an image of the goodwill and joy and love that we have been cultivating here tonight, and we have been envisioning for the earth. We want to make people feel loved. We want to experience joy. We want to help those human beings and those brothers and sisters who are in need. We want to create great reunions between and among races and peoples. We want to soar in our hearts joy and play and be a part of the creation more and more fully aware and awake as human instruments of divine love here on this planet, if I do not say so myself, on behalf of all of us. If you agree with that, just give us a yes in the chat. And so I will continue with this lovely little collective art project here until complete. And it's very exciting, a new modality for me to try to do this live. So thank you all for indulging me there. And yeah, let me just quit this program here as we're, since I'm going to just give a little keynote presentation. I want to make sure there's not a lot of noise in the background for that. And we are going to talk about my favorite topic, reality creation and manifesting, of course. And when I was 3 years old, I had a experience with my parents. And this is, I think, maybe when they first started realizing they had somebody on their hands that was a little different than the others. And I remember, this is my earliest memory, I literally remember talking to them about how I was manifesting with God right before my eyes and right in front of them, with them as my witness. And I was so excited about it. And I can only imagine what they were thinking when I spoke about this to them. And so having come in with that as my prime passion, I am always so thrilled when everyone else, when others teach about it as well. And when together we can collectively build upon this energy that is foundational to our humanity and to our divinity combined. Because as we access these truths and as we access this consciousness, there is nothing that we cannot change, modify, enhance, and make better on this beautiful planet. And this so far transcends any notion of partisanship or division or race or creed or culture or any type of division you can conjure up. We rise above in this truth that each being has its own, we all have our own dharma, our joy, our right to co-create beautiful, harmonious realities of peace on earth and heaven on earth. And these can all coexist peacefully on the planet. This is what our higher consciousness neighbors from the stars come to tell us. This is what we understand from the angelic realms. This is what we understand as we begin to practice heaven on earth every day. And that was my favorite thing that Maureen said in the talk that I saw her on. And that's what inspired me actually to invite her onto this show. So I'll give us a little bit of a presentation here and just dig into that just a little bit more in the little bit of time we have. And of course, you can find me at chariahdharma.com if you want to find out more about the books and what I'm up to. So What you think, you become, said the Buddha. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. If we were to remember this in every single moment of our lives, how would our lives be different if we came from the place of realizing that what we think we become, what we feel we attract, and what we imagine we create? Contemplate this, because your consciousness drives reality. If this guy can walk over coals while playing flute and looking so dandy, what?
Chariah, we're not seeing anything right now, love. It's just a black screen.
Oh, how strange. I'm so sorry.
That's quite all right.
Well, I'll just go ahead and keep talking about it. How about that?
Do you want to give it another try?
I can, sure.
Yeah, because I know that you got some really beautiful slides there, and all that you've been doing.
I just do that one. Can you
There
see?
There you go.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so here was the first one. We'll just go back there. And your consciousness drives reality. Yes, and so if this dandy looking guy can play the flute play this horn while walking over coals in front of hundreds of people, what is it that we can do that we don't realize we can do? Food for thought. And who is in charge of your consciousness? This kind of harkens back to what Bruce was talking to us about in the beginning with the subconscious mind, because a lot of programming actually gets into our subconscious mind also through our social media, the news, our interactions with others, social policies, and more from the collective consciousness. So think about how you might be being imprinted with thought forms that then you're thinking on without really realizing what you're doing. And maybe snooze the news a bit now and then to take back your own inner driver of where you want to go. And then, of course, on the deeper levels too, you have your ancestral lineage, your past lives, and your early childhood. And this is what Source and Divine Mother, Divine Father, and the guides and angels of the light and the star elders talk about in the books that have come through me, that there are these multiple levels of conditioning that we've been imprinted with, meaning that we didn't mean to come forth and create chaos and challenge for ourselves, but it happened automatically because of this programming in the subconscious mind. And that's why you're going to see so many of us learning how to focus our attention on our own desires for a positive and harmonious experience of life. And hand in hand with that, we also learn to clean the junk from the trunk, to analyze and resolve and heal all the old things without too much heady thinking, right? But to clean and clear. And that's why there's so many healers, and there's so many different types of modalities to clean the subconscious mind. And it's really important to find those that work for you. And also a daily practice is also been mentioned several times here tonight, and it's so important. The recalibrations process that has come through in the books that I've written goes like this: attune, align, dissolve, design. So when you go forth into your day, or at any time that you want to create a new reality, you can attune to your source, connect with your high self, and then align with the purpose before you, what it is that you want to create or bring forth. Or maybe it's with your larger general life purpose. And then you leverage some kind of technique or way of being or prayer or intention to dissolve the patterns in the way, the old beliefs, the subconscious debris. And then you design what you want. And now you can focus on it as well because you've cleaned the junk from the trunk. So that makes it much easier to actually focus on the thoughts that you want to create. The 5 keys for this are forgiveness, non-attachment, non-judgment, non-resistance, and unconditional love. Now, we could write a whole book. In fact, I have. These things are gone into depth in the books that have come through. And I highly recommend taking a look at those if you feel called to look into more about how these 5 keys can be woven in to get you to the place where unconditional love and that state of joy is your natural state of being. And of course, we want to act from the highest guidance. Maureen had a lot to say about that today, and she had some good tools for us as well. So by practicing meditation and positive thinking, you'll be attuned to your highest guidance, and regular daily practice is a must. This is our work at this time. And so that was a very quick, brief overview, kind of summing up what we've gone through tonight. And my wish for each of you is that you will be able to take all this beautiful goodness that has come through you and to you tonight into your heart, into your life, and into the world to co-create this beautiful peace on earth that we all are making together. Thank you.
Thank you, Chariah Dharma. And to learn more about all of Chariah's beautiful offerings, go to chariahdharma.com. She has a Sunday morning meditation, healing and manifesting discussion group. And the way it's spelled is CHIRAYA Dharma, DHARMA.com. So Chariah, we so appreciate all your contributions tonight and so many weeks to our show. Thank you so very, very much. How's that art piece coming along?
Oh, it's good. You want to see it again?
Well, you know what? We're going to come take a look at it at the very end of the show before Cornflower's song. How's that sound?
Beautiful. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. All right. And now I'm going to go to Debra for our Global Peace Tribe Recommends program.
Thank you, Scott. One of the benefits of this incredible, unprecedented situation we're on in the planet is a lot of producers are going virtual now. And we are starting to have a feature where we can share with you some amazing virtual conferences, festivals, and programs that are happening, and so that you can get more of this type of information. So one really important and incredible conference that's coming up that we want to recommend is New Life Expo. It's happening November 7th, November 8th. It's being produced by Mark Becker. He's the publisher of New Life magazine and the producer of New Life Expo. And he's been doing this as a live event for 30 years. And I've known Mark all the way back in that time. So he's really been the pioneer and the spearhead of this kind of information that we're sharing with you tonight. And he's taken the leap, like everyone else, and he's gone virtual. So this kind of information now can go out wide to the global community. And this is the longest running holistic alternative conscious living New Age Expo in America for 30 years. It's going to be virtual exhibit rooms, speaker rooms, healer rooms, psychic rooms, panels, live music, exercise. He's got incredible speakers like Daniel Brinkley, Steve Halpern, David Pramal Mitten, whole host of it. But I want to bring Mark on now and honor him for all the work he's done for so many years and taking the leap to now go virtual so that so many more people can even have the benefit of the amazing community of speakers and presenters and exhibitors that he's brought together. So I want to bring on now the amazing Mark Becker.
Thank you, Debra. Debra and Scott, you guys are awesome. It is a pleasure just listening to the two of you. And Debra's been doing this forever and ever with Harmony. Yeah. Well, so the New Life Expo. So, you know, what's happening is live expos aren't happening at all in the country. So the first week in April, I started doing very small virtual speaking conferences from April to now. So that's been going on a long time. And then when my last expo, the one in October, is getting canceled in New York, I said, I have to do a real expo, a virtual expo, where people can actually see exhibitors in their own rooms, go to a psychic area room, see the psychics in their separate rooms and get readings, see the musicians, see people giving cooking classes and exercise classes, going to different meditations, and having incredible speakers. So we have like over 35 speakers in a row, Saturday and Sunday, November 7th and 8th. It's from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We have Debra Pramal, Karen Reed, Swami Biandanda, Dr. Robert Young, Dr. Jacob Lieberman, Katie Moya, Lori Spagna, Deborah Graham, Jill Dane, Ken Dykewald, on, Stephen Halpern, Daniel Brinkley, Kimberly Meredith. We have Chris Macklin, Kat James, Gail Thackeray, Nick Delgado, Ancient Aliens, William Henry, David Young. We have panels. In fact, Maureen, who I love so much, you were great, Maureen. Maureen is going to be on our Ascension panel. We have a UFO panel. We have a nutrition panel. We have a Strange Universe panel. We have Jerry Sargent and Jody Short and others doing light language panels. So we have a lot of things going on at the same time, just like an expo. And again, it's going to be November 7th and 8th. It is from 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time to 8 o'clock at night. So y'all out there in California, you have to wake up early, which you all do anyway. And the beauty of the virtual expos is that all the people out west that have never come to a New Life Expo in New York or Florida can come and be a part of it. You can exhibit there. You can give readings there. All the speakers' spots are all taken, but you can be exhibitor. But you can actually join the New Life Expo where you couldn't do it in person. And the beauty, as Debra knows, of having a virtual conference is that speakers, attendees don't have to travel. You don't have to take a plane. You don't have to get a hotel room. You can sit home, listen to everybody. For me, I love it because at the real expo, all I do is put out fires. So I really don't get to hang with my friends. And here, some of my oldest friends, Dannon Brinkley, Ken Dykewald, Stephen Halpern, Robert Young, Jacob Lieberman. These are some of my oldest friends from the very, very first days of the expos, and we get out to hang out. Also, we have a room where you can hang out with the speakers. Also, we have a room where you can hang out with each other. So again, it goes on and on and on. On the chat, I'll put down how you can register for it. And I appreciate Debra and Scott giving me the opportunity to share. And come to the New Life Expo virtually, folks.
Thank you so much, Mark, for putting this together. And it really is a who's who of so many great leaders. And it's easy to go to register. Just go to newlifeexpo.com, NEWLIFE expo.com. And there's two E's there. There's New Life Expo, two E's in there. And look at everything he's got going on. And that's where you can contact him. You can register. It looks like it's going to be terrific, Mark. And
yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. And then on the chat, what I'll do is I'll put down how they can register. How's that?
Great.
And I've posted that already on all the chat, Mark.
Thank you, sweetie.
Mhm.
You're both, I mean, you're both incredible. I mean, it's really a pleasure how you weave it in and out, and you put out the fires, and you put it out with the gentlest water possible.
And you know what's remarkable? We're all coming from our home. All of it. You know, our top speakers, our musicians, everybody watching, we're all at home, and yet we're all connecting. We're all coming together. And this is the new world. This is the new life that you are.
Well, you know what? It's like we all want to have people reach their maximum potential. We want people to open up their mind to all possibilities and to be positive, manifest. You have to manifest. Love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Looking forward to seeing your show.
Amen.
All right. There's one other wonderful thing that's happening that we want to support, and that is, we're calling it the Gale-a-thon. Another very beloved member of our community is dealing with a serious cancer. And I'm going to bring on Lisa Vincent, who has organized the Gale-a-thon. And Lisa, if you could unmute so we can hear you, please. And I'm going to pull up a couple of links and but why don't you start by telling us just a little bit about what's going on with Gail?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you giving us some time here. So in May, Gail Kaufman was diagnosed in stage 4 of a rare aggressive form of cancer that doesn't respond well to Western medical treatments. So in addition to those treatments, she's also working with integrative oncologists for some promising therapies. She's no longer able to work, and she's applied for disability assistance, but it won't cover all of her assistance. Won't cover all of her expenses. So between medical expenses not being covered by insurance and outstanding living expenses, she's looking at about $4,000 per month out of pocket expenses. So she's in some real trouble here. And she had this amazing idea to create a fundraising festival that's focused on music as medicine. Because if you know Gail, you know that she's always looking for ways to give back. And so she wanted to do something that was going to benefit people as much as it was also going to benefit her as well. So as a result, she manifested what's called Gailapalooza, the Music as Medicine Fundraising Festival. And it will be happening tomorrow from 3 to 7 Pacific time. And we'd love for you to join. We've got Todd Boston headlining, Mirabai will be playing along with Peter Warren, Lakshmi will be there, Gary Musinski and Moses Sedler, Lauren Arrow with Roots of Passage, Christine Tullis, Antonio Avasano, and then we have Guillermo Ortiz and Vlad Cardama, who will be performing an opening and closing ceremonies. And then we have the lovely Chariah Keating, who will be our mistress of ceremony. So we've got a really great show in store. We'd love it if you could come out. And if you can't make it to the event, we'd really also love it if you could donate to Gail's GoFundMe. I told her that I was going to be here tonight, and she asked me to express her deep appreciation for all of you and to also let you all know how much she misses you. She's been a part of your sweet community for many, many years, and this isolation with COVID has been very difficult for her, considering what she's going through. So we've got links I saw that you were showing, thank you so much, of where to get your tickets, where to donate to the GoFundMe if you can't be there. And then also there's a Facebook event that I just posted a video of Gail on. It is for, we're going to play it during the event, but it was just so touching and so much love. And there are people who aren't able to make the event but have been donating. And so we just decided to go ahead and post that on the Facebook event on the discussion tab. So if you'd like to get a sense of Gail, I encourage you to visit and watch her sweet video.
Great. Thank you so much. And so again, probably the easiest thing is just go on Facebook and put in Gailathon.
Yeah, Gailapalooza. It's yeah, if you do a search on Gailapalooza.
Gailapalooza. Gailapalooza. I kept saying Gailathon. Sorry about
That's okay. I mean, it's kind of like we likened it a little bit to like one of those Jerry Lewis telethons back in the day. But yeah.
And thank you, Lisa, for all the work you're doing to organize this. Again, I love our community and the way that our community comes together to create. It's very, very beautiful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Chariah, if you can turn on your camera, because in a moment we're going to take one last look at your art project. And Lisa, thanks again for being with us. And we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow for this beautiful fundraising event.
Thank you.
And now we're going to take one last look, at least for now. Do you want to show us how the art project is looking?
Sure, absolutely. So it does not feel like it's done, but it does feel like it's well underway. And let me see if I can just put it into full screen mode here. So we can see how things are evolving with these beautiful, joyful faces and happy people and people seeking human kindness and people giving human kindness. And that was really the energy that we were expressing today, along with our creativity and our desire to co-create heaven on earth and positive love, and opening the heart to more love was one of the other expressions. So we want to help people feel more love today and share that human kindness with everyone around us to really help open the heart and be a blessing to all that we meet on the planet. Kind of like James Redfield was saying too, that really service, they coming from a place of desiring to serve and assist and help others is really a spiritual path. It's a spiritual pathway, and it's a doorway into so much more love. And the funny part is when we give love, that's when we actually feel it the most.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Chariah. And speaking of love, we're going to wrap up the official part of this show, although we've got our community connections coming up. So if you are interested in coming on and sharing a little bit about what you were inspired by tonight, please put a note in the chat box to me. But we are going to wrap it up with our beloved Cornflower, who's going to get us moving to some music. And so as he plays, let's just take all that we've learned from these amazing speakers and integrate it through the music, which is pure love in sound by Cornflower. Take it away, brother.
Thank you so much, Scott. This one's called Heart Shine, and just feel all of this energy from tonight's broadcast and all of the love that's been shared and the insight just vibrating in every cell of your body, and just feel it radiating out from your heart. Let's go.
Gotta let go, let your heart shine. Gotta let go. All right, let's do it. Let your heart shine. Gotta let go, 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 let your heart shine.
It's happening all across the world. It's happening in the consciousness of humanity. It's happening everywhere. And everything is energy. Everything is energy.
I just always get chills. I always get chills with your music, brother. My God, that's so good. Hey, everybody. Let's all make sure we go to cornflowermusic.com. Join his email list.
Yes, please.
To get a free download right away with all things. I love that song.
Thank you.
I think you've played it at least twice for us.
I've played it a lot for you guys.
Yeah, I love that song.
And I wanted to just say, for the next week, for the Saturday Night Alive, for the Global Peace Tribe, I'm offering a 10% off discount at the Cornflower Store. So if you go to the Cornflower Store and put in SNA for the GPT, all capitals, you will get 10% off your whole order. So I love you all so much, and it's such an honor to get to co-create with you, and hope you'll be carrying these high vibrational messages on your chest and on a hoodie for the warm, for the cold weather. And anyway, I love you guys so much. It's such an honor to be a part of this, and I'm stoked about the supporters party on Thursday. Is that right?
Yeah, so there's still time. If you guys want to join Cornflower, who's going to be playing, Pollyanna Bush is going to be playing, our supporters party this Thursday night, October 29th, 6 o'clock p.m. And it's for anybody who has contributed $75 or more in registering with us, or fill out that supporter application. which Debra has put into the chat box, and she'll probably put it in again soon. And thank you. Look at all the people that are still with us. Mark, all the way out in New York, for heaven's sakes. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. God knows. Well, it's not quite that late, but midnight, after midnight.
Becker's here from Germany at 5 a.m.
Wow. I mean, I just look at this gallery of gorgeous, beautiful souls that are with us. And every single one of you that we're seeing, and certainly everybody at home. All of you are precious to us. There's still 250 people in our Zoom room and thousands watching on Facebook. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Somebody was asking in the chat about Cornflower's code.
So say it again, Cornflower.
Put it in the chat again, yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll put it in now.
Okay, good. Thank you, brother.
SNA for the GPT.
All right. I'm going to turn it over to Debra to say goodnight in a moment, but just a couple of reminders. Our Halloween All Hallows Eve weekend. It starts next Friday night with Straight Talk at 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern. But we're going to have Larry Cooper and Guinevere Bridge and other guests really giving us a whole understanding of the origins of Secret Samhain and All Hallows Eve, and then doing some spirit readings. And then on Saturday night, we've got amazing Daniel Brinkley, Mark Anthony, Guinevere Bridge coming back, Larry Cooper coming back. Going to go really deep into connecting with our beloveds on the other side. And we're putting it together in a really unique progression that's going to lead to you, all of you, being able to really feel connected to loved ones that are on the other side. It's going to be a very special night. Plus, if you want to show up in costume and you want to be on the show, please come into the Zoom room show between 5:30 and come in at 5:30 if you can, 5:40 at the very latest, so we can log you and spotlight you throughout the show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to turn over to Debra to say goodbye for the official part of the show, but I'll stick around for a little bit to have Christy Michaels and a few other people who may want to be on Community Connections. If you want to come on for a minute to share what you were inspired by, we're also going to have a quick little special prayer from Light Touch. But before any of that, to close out our official part of the show, it's my partner, Debra Giusti.
Thank you, Scott. And this is a time where I get to give a big, heartfelt thank you to all the presenters. Weren't they great? It's always so amazing at the end of the show to have heard such incredible people and the musicians and the comedy, and honoring Chariah for helping us to pull this all together, and honoring Scott and everyone out there that donates to us and helps us keep growing and glowing and going. So, and if you hadn't noticed, the big part that glues us together is really the love that we share for all that we're doing for each other, for bringing each other together, and just want to share this love right back to you. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to keep going with all your support. And thank you, Scott, very much for being such an incredible partner in this. Thank you.
Welcome. My pleasure. Thank you, Debra. And people are asking what the name of that song was, Cornflower. So maybe you can pop that into the chat box. People want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. And let's all continue to share this out. I see we've got some. I want to recognize Ebenezer, a Nigerian in Argentina. And I love it. You know, we're reaching all over the world. Truly the global peace tribe. So blessings to Ebenezer and all of you from all over the world, whether it's local right here in Northern California or all the way in Argentina. We appreciate all of you. I want to play, before we hear from a couple people, this is a special little prayer that was put together by Jay Mayer for us. Jay, of course, has been such a really valuable sponsor for our show. So here's a little prayer, light touch style, courtesy of Jay Mayer. Enjoy.
Thank you for blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you for blessings.
Thank you, Jay Mayer, and thank you, Light Touch. And if any of you are interested in knowing more about Light Touch, every morning at 8:30 Pacific time, a lot of us gather together and we practice giving light touch to ourselves and blessing each other and blessing the day. And you can learn much more about it by going to light-touch.me. And next week, they're going to be sponsoring our All Hallows Eve show. So now it's time for community connections. And the first person I'm going to bring up is Christy Michaels. And likewise, if any of our presenters who are still with us, if any of you have anything else you want to add, just let me know. Pop it in the chat box and I'll put the spotlight back on you. But for a moment, here is our dear friend, Christy Michaels. Hi, Christy.
Hey, Scott.
Good to see you.
Yes. You know, I've been wrestling with this, what to say, because I want to say something that's been said a million times to both you and Debra, but I want to say it in a way that is, you receive the transmission that really gets to your heart. So with the tears in my eyes and the extraordinary love that I can muster in this moment, I must express my deep and profound gratitude to both you and Debra for the extraordinary work. And I'm an event producer as well. And I know the work that goes into this. And you guys don't give it a thought. I mean, I know you give it lots of thought. but what I mean is your perseverance and your commitment to building a world living in love is so profound and so strong. And you have no idea the ripples of waves that are being sent out across the world. So that I wanted to just find a way to say my deep gratitude so that it doesn't come off as another jaded thank you, you know, but that you really receive it. And the other thing I wanted to do is to give a shout out to what today is. Today is the gathering of the 1,000 goddesses. Women all over the world with men have been creating circles. And our dearly beloved Celestine did a phenomenal job creating a circle. And you can go to 1000goddesses.net and you'll find all the goddess circles that were all around the world. For the prophecy was when 1,000 goddesses gather, the world will find, the earth will find peace on earth. So may it be so. And for each and every one of you who is doing what you can to build a special world living in love, my heart is so grateful. So thank you guys. Blessed be.
Thank you so much, Christy. That's really, really beautiful. And yeah, we have, actually we had Mayor Cromwell since representative, and we, last week, of course, we were all about dedicated to the divine feminine. And I will briefly just go to, I pulled up the 1,000 Goddesses Gathering Global Grid. And so, yeah, if you want to go to that website, it's spelled out in numerically 1000 goddesses.net. And the Great Mother is calling, and I think we all are hearing her. And this is a beautiful video. We played this video last week. It's really quite gorgeous. So thank you for reminding us of that. And Christy, we do take in very much your appreciation, and we appreciate everybody's appreciation. Not one jaded appreciation have we perceived. I don't perceive it that way, but thank
wonderful.
you so much. Thank you very, very much.
Well, 1,000 goddesses thank yous to you.
Thank you.
Bless
All
you.
right. I'm looking to see if anybody else wants to come on to say hello, and I'm not seeing it. So if anybody else, thank you, Kathy Robinson. It's her first time and she loved it. That's great. Thank you, everybody. Tomorrow, one other thing, I'll actually promote a couple of things real quick. Every Sunday I do my Sacred Sunday show. And tomorrow I've got a really special guest. You met her last week on our show, Davida Sal, and she's created something called Artivism. It's a combination of activism and artistic expression. And so she's going to be on the show tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. You can find it live on Facebook, or go to my profile page and you'll see where I've got the link and a little bit of information about it. So love to have you join us. And then the last thing, I just want to acknowledge that, look, it's tough times for a lot of people out there. And it's especially hard on relationships. And as most of you know, I run the Love Coach Academy. And the Love Coach Academy is really dedicated, especially at this time, to supporting people to have healthier relationships. So one of the things we're offering is if you go to our website, lovecoachacademy.com, we have a short survey. And if you fill out that short survey, you will then receive a free 15-minute or more discovery session with one of our love coaches. And the reason we want you to fill out the survey first is we ask questions. Are you single, in a relationship? What are you looking for? What's going on for you? And then by filling out that survey, we know which love coach to connect you with. So if you go to lovecoachacademy.com, fill out our survey, it takes about a minute, and then we will connect you with the right love coach to give you a free discovery session to provide you some support. So we're here to support. There's a lot of wonderful sources. Let's all go to the Gale Project tomorrow, Sunday, from 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. Let's definitely support Gale in that way. Amazing musicians. Lakshmi Devi is going to be on our show in a couple of weeks, along with Kali's Angels. And so this Global Peace Tribe just keeps growing and growing and growing. Let's support Mark's show in New York, out of New York, but it's all online now by going to newlifeexpo.com. And you can always watch the replay. So if you came in later, just go to Love Coach Academy page and you'll find all of our video recordings right there. Just go to lovecoachacademy.com. Go to the Love Coach Academy page on Facebook, and that's where you'll find all of our videos. And you can watch this show or any of our previous shows. All right, it's time for dinner. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Thank you, all of our guests, all of our presenters. Thank you, everybody, for watching.